The Americans are coming off a big victory over the Pilots, but today their two head coaches will be pitted against each other in an out-of-league matchup. Paul Wolf's Diesel are back at the barbershop, and he'll be taking on his co-manager and good friend, Will Cordero. Position players will pitch, high schoolers will catch, and the Americans will finally settle the debate of which of their coaches would win in a game. It's the Americans, it's the Diesel, it's PGCBL Baseball right here on the Americans Baseball Network.
That the ace of the Giant pitching staff that season was Niagara Falls native Sal Magley. A league-low 2.71 earned run.
They chose Niagara Falls because of the stadium, because of the history, because they believe in Niagara Falls.
Tickets 716-215-6161.
And where do you play?
We play right at Sal Magley, gorgeous stadium.
Set the 1-0 to Boyle. Is hammered to right field.
Go, baby, go, baby. Go,
Come
baby,
here,
go,
fence.
Baby.
That ball is way out of here.
Welcome into Sal Magley Stadium for Americans and Diesel, the first out-of-league game the Americans are playing this season. It's going to be a fun one. Paul Wolf coaching for the Diesel tonight with Will Cordero taking charge for the Americans as the sole manager in tonight's game. I'm Andrew Roberts. I'll be your play-by-play broadcaster for the entire season. And I am here today with a special color commentator, also a player for the Americans, pitched most recently on July 4th against the Batavia Muck Dogs. It's Keegan Bazinet. Keegan, how are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, Andrew.
Of course. Well, got a great day of baseball ahead of us. What are you looking for out of the Americans today against this Diesel team?
I'm looking for a win. I'm looking for all the guys that are in new spots today to fit right in and come out with a win here.
And one of your own college teammates, Evan Core, will be on the pitching mound. What are you most excited to see out of that start?
I want to see him throw some gas. We'll see how he does.
I mean, rumors down in the Diesel dugout that he throws 90. Matter of how true those are is the question.
We will see today.
Absolutely. Well, we will take a look before we get started in this game at the PGCBL standing, show you where the Americans stand in today's game. And this game will not count towards those standings, but it'll be a good momentum builder for the games ahead. They are in second place at 19-11, right behind the Muck Dogs. Muck Dogs actually have less wins, but also less losses. Tarp Skunks right behind in third, a game separating those three in the Double Days. Just a half game behind Jamestown after losing to them yesterday. Pioneers at 14-13-1 are in fifth, knocking on the door of the playoffs, as well as the Pilots, who lost to these Americans yesterday. Geneva Red Wings in seventh, and then the Ironbacks remain in the basement. And I mean, the Ironbacks are a team the Americans have seen a lot this season. They'll see them tomorrow. And aside from that one game in the doubleheader, the Americans have dominated that matchup. So it's led to a pretty high spot in the Americans for the Americans in the PGCBL standings, and also the Ironbacks in last place behind Geneva. So Keegan playing that team tomorrow. I would say that taking advantage of those games on the schedule is going to be key to keeping that playoff spot the rest of the way.
Yeah, for sure. If we can take care of the Ironbacks, it'll definitely help our record. We do play them a lot. We played them a lot in June. It definitely helped us be in the top four for these playoff standings.
Definitely, and it's going to be a tight race the rest of the way here. Newark and Elmira knocking on the door. Elmira coming back here Saturday for a doubleheader, and Keegan, you're set to pitch in that matchup. So, I mean, first doubleheader you'll be pitching in this season. Does that have a different dynamic for you than a full 9-inning start?
I think it would more if I was in the second game, but since I'm in the first, I think it's going to be around the same. I'll just get here a little bit sooner, but same setup.
Fair enough. Well, got a dance squad going on the field. We will have baseball action in just a moment while we wait, we'll give you a look at the Buffalo Diesel lineup. Darren Grabowski going to kick things off in right field. The second Grabowski to lead off against the Americans, other one being on the Pios. Mark DeLeo playing third and batting second has been hitting the ball pretty well against other PGCBL teams. Alex Seifert in center field batting third. Neil DeMartin, the cleanup hitter. First matchup against a PGCBL team this summer. Mike Wagner at short, a few walks but no hits this season. Jimmy Buechner, the catcher, batting sixth. BJ Stack, the extra hitter, bats seventh. Jordan Kowalski playing second, his second game against a PGCBL team. Ryan Baruti in left field batting ninth, and then a pair of extra hitters that are also brothers, Jake and Adam Shabeta, will round out the lineup. And they will be facing the Americans' starting pitcher today. That starting pitcher being Evan Core out of SUNY Niagara. Has not pitched in college, but had some experience in high school. And Keegan, you know Evan very well, playing here with him, playing at college with him. Has he been looking forward to this for
when he first heard about this, he was more excited than he's ever been to hit. So I'm hoping he does really good here, but we'll see how he does.
Absolutely, and some tough bats to face him, but the Americans will show their lineup a little later, are going to be batting a lot of their starting players. So this could be a high-scoring one. That's what I would expect.
Same with me. I think the Americans are going to have some good hitting today, and then because we don't have our actual pitchers in today, the Diesel is a good hitting team, so they might take advantage of that.
Yeah, given this out-of-league game not counting toward the standings, makes sense to rest your pitchers, including you, Keegan. And then
agreed.
I mean, you went Friday, so pretty recent compared to this Tuesday game, but also resting the rest of the pitching staff. And then Nick Past, who wouldn't have a day off otherwise, going to take the day for a catcher coming in from Niagara Falls High School. Dom Polio will join the team for the night.
It's good to give Nick a break. We got our other catcher that's off for a couple days, so Nick, he needs some time off, or else he'll be catching like 6 or 7 games in a row, which is tough on a catcher.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Paul Delanto will be back with the team in a week or so, but for the time being, Nick Pass, the only active catcher for this team. So to give him a night off and get Dom Polio in there is definitely going to help the Americans in the long term.
That is right, yep. Nick, if this day off will also give Nick a good spot when he comes back. He'll be in a better shape.
Definitely give those knees a rest. Will Cordero waving up here. The Americans taking the field. And we will pause in just a moment for the national anthem.
As well as clubhouse manager Riley Drew Cross. The Americans' official team trainer is Krista Mao. Patriotic and polarizing mascot in the entire PGCBL. Welcome, Apala. And now, fans, who's the hardest working man in sports? Well, you get it. It's give it up for your in-stands host of Patriot Racks, head to toe and freedom. He's the red, white, and blue glue, holding the spirit of the stands together. Welcome, Yankee Doodle Dan. I mentioned that Yankee Doodle Dan is the hardest working man in sports, and he's about to prove that. At this time, fans, we ask that you stand as able and remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem by our own Yankee Doodle Dan. Take it, Dan. on the starting lineup for the Americans. Let me run through it again. Batting first is Grant Moore. Batting second is Tommy Mathey. In the third spot is Gavin Boyle. Batting cleanup is Graydon Miller. Batting fifth, Ian Wang. Batting sixth, Chris Gazaldo. Batting seventh, Dom Polio. Batting eighth is Chris Pinaro. Batting ninth is Logan Stickler. And batting 10th is Alan Ramos. On the mound for the Americans is number 36, Evan Core.
Welcome back into PGCBL Baseball here on the Americans Baseball Network. And there was some talk before tonight's game that it was possible the interns were going to step in and play this game, but even though the pitchers and catchers resting, Will Cordera was insistent on playing some of his starters against Paul Wolf. He wants that win over his fellow Americans coach.
Yes, he does. They were talking a little bit of smack to each other before the game, so there's a little bit of tensions rising here.
Oh, yeah. There's been a lot of fun rivalries this season, whether it be the Muck Dogs, the Ironbacks, but this might be the best of them all, pitting two coaches from the same team against each other for a game.
Yeah, no more college teams, no college players against each other. It's actually just going to be the two coaches here.
Oh, yeah, they'll play every single position. But
oh, yeah.
When it comes down to this Diesel team as a whole, it's a big mix. They have college guys on the team, former college guys. Some of these guys are all the way up into their 40s, so it's a big medley of players, and it'll be interesting to see how they match up against the Americans, specifically Evan Core, who's pitching for the first time, typically out there in right field. Cannon for an arm, so it should translate to the mound, but we'll have to see.
Yes, we will. He's got a great arm, great accurate arm too from right field, but this Diesel team does have some grown man strength, we could say. We saw one of the players' kids out on the field before the game, so definitely some older players on the team, but also college players.
Yeah,
so
one of the kids is going to be a bat boy, it appears, for the Diesel today, so that should be some fun. Pretty rare that we've had young bat boys and bat girls here at Sal Magley, but will today. The baseball buddies are pretty close, coming out on the field with you guys a couple of weekend games this season.
Yeah, we have them out there a few times a week.
Yeah, that's fun stuff out on the field. But for the time being, these Diesel getting ready to take on the Americans. It'll be Darren Grabowski, Mark DeLeo, and Alex Seifert to kick things off. Grabowski coming from University of Bridgeport and has not recorded a hit against a PGCBL team this season, but looking for his first. Got some speed on the base paths, hence Wolf's decision to lead him off. And then Adam Shabetta, reportedly faster than his brother, explaining him in the number 11 hole. It's a little bit
like
of a second leadoff situation. Okay, we were on the same page right there, but Grabowski, the right fielder, to kick things off.
Evan Core here using his teammate's pitcher's gloves due to not having one. Actually, it's Matt Barr's glove. So we'll see if he gets some superpowers from him.
And Dom Polio wearing Matt Barr's jersey number tonight.
That's true.
This is the honorary Matt Barr pitcher-catcher duo right here. Upstairs for ball one to kick things off. Evan Core missing the catch back from Polio. Ramos coming to pick it up.
Nice play out there by shortstop Alan Ramos.
Definitely. Evan Core, solid first pitch. Has to get into his groove here with Dom Polio. Brand new American. So low and away, ball two. Tommy Mathey set to come out of the bullpen today. Tommy actually has pitched in a PGCBL game out in Canada. Way inside, it's 3-0. Evan Core been painting the edges here. Hasn't found the strike zone just yet. Here's the 3-0. That's right down the pike. Finds strike one right there. And Evan Core attacking the zone with the 3-0 count. I think that's smart strategy. But next pitch will be outside. It's ball four to Darren Grabowski. A leadoff walk given up by Core. And we'll just have to see how this goes the rest of the way for Evan. Mark DeLeo, a tough customer, up next. 4 for his first 8 against PGCBL teams this summer. One of the most talented hitters on this team. Spent a couple years at Mercyhurst. It's a fly ball into left field. It'll drop between Ramos and Gavin Boyle for the base hit. So now headed towards third is Grabowski. He's caught in a rundown. Gazaldo and Ian Huang gonna tag him out for out number 1, but nonetheless, a runner still on first. Mark DeLeo taking Grabowski's spot after the base hit. So 1 hit for the Diesel, Keegan, and still just 1 runner on base thanks to an interesting base running decision by Grabowski.
Yeah, it was a smart, quick play by Boyle to get into third, and then the cover over there was helpful.
Oh, absolutely. And Alex Seifert up next. Wasn't with this team the last time the Diesel were at Sal Magley, but it's played a couple times against PGCBL opponents. Takes strike 1 on the breaking ball there. Core still looking for his first strikeout of the day. That's a high fly ball in a right field foul territory. Mathey chasing it down. It'll be out of reach. So 2 early strikes on Alex Seifert. This is the best the count has looked for Core today. Seifert played in the games against the Muck Dogs for this Diesel team. Had a single in the first one. It's outside for ball 1.
That one must have just missed the outside corner because that looked good to me.
I mean, yeah, right over that edge of the lefty batter's box. See how this strike zone looks the rest of the night, but another foul ball there. Seifert hanging in on this 1-2 count. Mark DeLeo on first base, his 5th hit against the PGCBL team this summer. Has a lead on first base. The 1-2 from Core. Swing and a miss. And look at that. Evan Core has his first PGCBL strikeout. Unfortunate that it won't count towards his stats, but
unfortunate, but a great pitch.
Looking
Luckily
good
we don't
out
have
there.
to be mad at the umpire because that was there anyway.
Yeah, it would have been strike 3 on that last pitch. That was called for ball 1. Core, a low strike 1 there on Neil DeMartin. So the strike zone so far looking tall and narrow. DeMartin has not played against a PGCBL opponent. Did play at Sal Magley the last time the Diesel came here. Just didn't make the trips out to Batavia or Jamestown with this team. Core has the count in his favor. It's a foul ball down that first base line.
Good swing, just a little bit ahead of it there.
Yeah, a little bit early. Could have been an extra base hit if not for jumping the gun. But Evan Core's 1 strike away as he's settling in after a couple of early base runners. 0-2 pitch. Drops low. But it's a ball on the count. So Grabowski retired after the base hit. And then the strikeout by Seifert. And that's a liner into right center field. Grant Moore comes in to make the grab for out number 3. Grant Moore with the first out in the field for the Americans. And we'll send it to the bottom of the first inning after the break and give you the Americans lineup. We'll be right back.
Fans, if you've been to a game, you know that I give away pizza to a lucky fan in the middle of the 3rd inning. But what you might not know is that Sammy's is located right across the street. They've also been family owned and operated for 3 generations since 1962 and originated the half tray of pizza. But if you're hungry at the game, you can stop by the concession stand and get a slice of Sammy's for yourself.
Bottom of the first inning from Sal Magley Stadium. The Americans getting ready to face these. Diesel will give you the American starting lineup. Grant Moore leading things off per usual in center field. Tommy Mathey filling in right, batting second. Gavin Boyle, the left fielder, bats third. So 3 consecutive lefties to face the right-handed pitcher for the Diesel that we'll introduce in a moment. Graydon Miller, the righty, batting cleanup, playing first. Ian Huang playing second after a couple days off. Chris Gazaldo at third again, batting sixth. Dom Polillo, his Americans debut, behind the plate, batting seventh. Carmen Panara, the extra hitter, again, bats eighth. Logan Stickler back in the order, batting ninth. And Alan Ramos, the speed demon, serving as that second leadoff hitter and playing shortstop again tonight. So Keegan, a lot of talent in this Americans lineup. Will Cordero bringing out the big guns in this order.
Yes, he is not willing to lose this game to his fellow coach.
Definitely not. And they will be facing Andrew Fraun, the former Canisius pitcher. Played for the Niagara Power back in 2019 as well, so he is not new to this stadium. And he's the brother of the Americans' merchandise and social media manager, Leah Fraun. So some siblings in the stadium tonight. Leah running social media in order to watch her brother Andrew on the bump. And Grant Moore will be the first to face him. So Grant Moore, hailing from Mount Vernon Nazarene University, and a lot of locals on this Americans team, but maybe not as many as this Diesel squad. And Grant Moore, the Ohio native, facing the local pitcher Andrew Fraun. It's ball one low to Grant. Grant Moore showing his patience, especially yesterday when he scored 3 runs without a hit. Fouled off to even up the count. So Grant Moore just looking to get on base here. He's gotten on base every single game he's played, whether it be a hit, walk, even some fielder's choice and errors. But nonetheless, that on-base streak is hanging on.
Grant Moore loves to run the bases, so he gets on whatever he can.
Oh, definitely. And 2 balls in the count here. Seems he's hoping to take the walk against Fraun, and this would be a mirror image of the top of the first when Core walked Grabowski to lead things off. 3-1 count on Grant Moore, just like the count on Grabowski. Far outside, and Grant Moore will take first base. And a theme we've been talking about here on the broadcast, Grant Moore, 30 steals on the season in this game. Not going to count towards his totals, but Grant Moore, when he gets on base, almost always makes it to second, so we like to call it an automatic double for Grant Moore.
We could say that, maybe even a triple sometimes.
Oh, for sure, and he leads the league in triples anyways with 4. And here goes Grant Moore for second base. Just having fun with those steals tonight. His 31st, but this one will count in his exhibition, or rather out-of-league game total. And Tommy Mathey lines that foul. It's 1-1. So Mathey, typically an outfielder for this team, but still have on my boards here that he has a 0 ERA as he pitched a clean inning over against the Ironbacks. He's going to pitch again tonight.
He is going to come in relief.
Evan Core doing a nice job so far, and Mathey ready to take over whenever he's done. What I'd imagine will happen is that Core will take his spot in right field as well, and it'll just be a 1-for-1 switch. Low and away for ball 3.
Fraun looking to settle in here.
Yeah, Andrew Fraun. His first start against the PGCBL team this season. And it comes against these Americans, where his own sister is interning. The 3-1 pitch. There's a fly ball into shallow left field foul territory. Ends up as more of a pop-up, and the catch made by Mark DeLeo for out number 1. So Tommy Mathey, out number 1 for these Americans, but Grant Moore has made his way to second base after the steal. And he'll be in scoring position for Gavin Boyle. Gavin on the year batting .268 with a .781 OPS, 2 homers, 9 RBIs. Both those home runs within the last week. And Boyle is going to take ball one, a wild pitch, nearly hits him in the foot, but Graham Moore taking third nonetheless. And now trying to come home, he gets there. How about a free home run for Graham Moore?
We didn't mention that one, but we'll take it.
My goodness, he's Diesel. The mental and physical mistakes early, and Grant Moore going to give the Americans the 1-0 lead without even having a hit yet. An error on the Diesel as well. 1-0 to Boyle. Inside again, similar spot. So Frann was a Division I pitcher, but graduated a couple of years back, around 25 now. See if he's still got it. 3-0 to Gavin. Boyle has spent the last year or so at SUNY Niagara with you, but will be headed to Southern Indiana in the fall. Swing and a miss right there. I don't mind the green light on the 3-0 there, especially with the kind of hitter Gavin is. See what he can do here. 3-1 pitch. Gets in there on the corner. Count is full. Gavin Boyle.
Boyle looking to do some damage here.
Definitely. And had Graham Moore on second, but he already came around to score. Now a high chopper heads into the glove of Kowalski. The throw to first in time for out number 2. Neil DeMartin manning first base for the Diesel and has played cleanly so far. The error was on the catcher, Jimmy Butner. And Keegan, do you know Jimmy personally?
Butner is a college athlete. We play against him on SUNY Niagara. He is on Erie Cats.
Awesome. So that's a liner into center field. Graydon Miller with a rocket, and it drops. The center fielder, Seifert, not going to get there. Graydon Miller headed for third, and he's going to have a hit here. Extra bases for Graydon. We'll wait for the official ruling. But that'll be hit number 1 for the Americans. It'll be a triple for Graydon Miller, excuse me. And Ian Huang up next with Miller now on third. These Americans hitting the ball very well tonight so far.
Ian Wang looking to do damage with runner in scoring position here. See if we
Wang,
can get
a
a second
292 hitter. Takes a strike on the outside edge. And a lot of that hitting has come against the Muck Dogs. The 2 games he's played against Batavia, 6 hits across those games.
Wang likes to do damage against our rival.
For sure. It's a big cut and miss there for strike 2. See if Wang can get something going against another Americans rival here in the Diesel. I mean, these Diesel only playing the Americans twice, but one of the closest teams in proximity to Niagara Falls down in Buffalo. Frann, 1 strike away, but the foul ball keeps Huang alive. Graydon Miller looking to come home and make it 2-0 Americans. Americans managing to strike first, and big props to Evan Core for keeping it scoreless in the top of the inning. The 0-2. It's a high fly ball into right field. Ends up more in center, but catch made by the center fielder, Alex Seifert, for out number 3. Graydon Miller stranded on third, but the Americans up 1-0 as we send it to the top of the second after the break.
No, I'm kind of thirsty.
Me too. We could really use something.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Yankee Doodle Dan.
That's better.
Top of the second inning here from the barbershop. And the second inning is brought to you by Bully Hill Vineyards, a great place to grab lunch and taste over 40 different wines. Go to bullyhillvineyards.com for more. Bully Hill, a big partner of many PGCBL teams. I mean, their signs are in pretty much every outfield that we've traveled to this season, Keegan.
Yeah, they got their banner on most outfield fences in this PGCBL.
Mike Wagner batting first. Yeah, they're all over the Finger Lakes, so makes sense for them. But the shortstop for the Diesel today, Mike Wagner, has had a lot of walks and hit by pitches against these PGCBL teams looking for a hit. But in a pair of games between Jamestown, Batavia, Wagner is 0 for 1 with a trio of walks. So getting his next game of action against these Americans. A longtime Diesel member compared to some of these other players. He played in the NABF World Series all the way back in 2013 and played with one of your coaches over at SUNY Niagara, Dan Brick, caught for that team in that NABF World Series.
That's news to me. I didn't know about that. That was a long time ago.
Sure you. I mean, Dan Brick, after his catching days have ended, now an assistant coach over at SUNY Niagara. And a lot of the guys on this team have had the chance to work with him. Wagner at short, looking for his first knock against the PGCBL team. It's a high fly ball into left field foul territory, and Gavin Boyle slides to make that grab for out number 1.
Boyle loves to make those plays over at foul territory for his pitchers.
Oh yeah, he's always putting his body on the line out in left field. You love to see it. Got the day off from the field on Sunday, DHing in one of the games, but back out in left for the second straight day. Next up is Jimmy Butner. This guy out of Erie has played against SUNY Niagara, and it's strike 1 to even things up on him here. First game against a PGCBL team as a member of these Diesel. Breaking ball low to make it 1-2. Evan Core looking for another clean inning. Swing and a miss. Evan Core has 2 strikeouts in 2 innings. Unbelievable for a guy that hadn't pitched in a PGCBL game. He is dominating out there.
Great breaking ball, fastball combo there to get a swing and miss on Butner.
Fooling Butner. And in another SUNY Niagara Erie matchup, Erie falling short. BJ Stack up next, the extra hitter. An interesting dynamic down in the clubhouse between Stack and Coach Paul Wolf. BJ helping out with the batting order as a longtime member of this team. 2-0 to BJ here. Was on Canisius about 20 years ago and has played for these Diesel ever since. Pretty much an every game player for this team, and it's 3-0 to BJ Stack. The lefty has had a number of hits against PGCBL teams this summer. 3 for 6. And we'll take ball 4 right there from Evan Core. So he's the first base runner of the inning with 2 down. Jordan Kowalski up next. Kowalski made his Diesel debut against the Muck Dogs on Sunday. So very new member to this team and playing for the second consecutive game at second base. Outside for ball 1 to Kowalski. The left-handed hitter. So it's a sequence of a few consecutive lefties here for the Diesel to face the righty core, and core struggling right now with the command of the strike zone that was very sharp to start off this inning.
Core looking to settle in and get out of the second inning here scoreless. He's doing a great job so far.
Nobody in scoring position yet. The silver lining here. Fly ball into left. Gavin Boyle's under it. He'll make the grab for out number 3. So a lot of balls late in the inning right there, but the Americans still going to get out of this one cleanly without even letting a runner into scoring position. They lead 1-0 as we send it to the bottom of the second.
My fellow American fans, my name is Frankie Morris, your social media manager. You can join us all summer long with many promotional nights and tickets just as low as $10. You can call and get tickets at 716-215-6161 and take a crack at the action.
Back for the bottom of the second inning. And in this bottom of the second, we'll remind you that this season, get yourself the latest Americans gear, hats, t-shirts, sweatshirts, baseballs, much, much more. Stop by the merchandise stand, buy concessions at every home game. It's Chris Gazaldo to lead things off for the Americans here. He'll be followed up by Dom Polillo, the new American, as well as Carmen Panaro. Nice trio of hitters right here.
Carmen Panaro also had some time on the mound for us this year.
See if he pitches today, but it's a liner up the middle for the base hit by Gazaldo. Chris Gazaldo keeping his bat hot. It's his 3rd consecutive game with a hit. Won't count towards the official hit streak, but Gazaldo had a hit streak of 7 earlier this season, so it's led to 8 multi-hit games. Been great out there, Keegan.
Yeah, I know a couple of our guys had some streaks going on.
And Dom Polillo making his Americans debut, fouls off his first pitch into the stands for strike 1.
Coming out hacking.
Polillo will take the 0-1 outside, and
Good
holding
block
up
by
at
the catcher.
first base is Gazaldo. Thought about second there.
Buettner saves a wild pitch there.
Could have been a wild pitch, but a nice stop in the end. The 1-1 is going to get in there for strike 2 on the outside low corner to Dom Polillo. Polillo, an attendee of Niagara Falls High School, the rising senior, is a prospect to commit to some local schools, reportedly looking at SUNY Niagara. But it's 2-2 to Polillo here. Last summer worked at concessions for the Americans. That's going to get away from the catcher. Buettner, the wild pitch, allows Gazaldo to take second. So it was a borderline wild pitch earlier in the at-bat, but Andrew Fraun certainly throwing one wild right there. And Gazaldo takes advantage.
Got a full count here to Polillo.
Payoff pitch in a moment from Andrew Fraun. Here it is, and it's fouled off. So number 5 at the start of the season belonged to Matt Barr. Barr getting ready for the MLB draft, so did not end up pitching for this Americans team. Polio taking that number in his first game. The payoff from Andrew Fraun will be fouled off down the first base line. Keegan, you had the chance to share a locker room with Matt Barr a couple of different times. Gotta be exciting for you to see what he can do in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, me and Barr are really close. Been talking to him the past few days.
Swinging a miss. Dom Polio strikes out on his first at bat as an American, but taking the wild pitch to allow Gazaldo to get to second. So I'd argue a competitive, productive at bat despite the end result going against him. Carmen Pinaro, the extra hitter tonight. 300 hitter with a 948 OPS. Also has 2 saves as a pitcher. Big cut and miss for strike 1. Pinaro, I'd argue, the most versatile player on this Americans team.
Probably the only two-way that we've relied on a few times.
Tommy Mathay has had his moments as a two-way, but Carmen Pinaro, the one who's consistently playing on both sides of the ball. Logan Stickler, if it weren't for his elbow injury, capable of being a two-way player, but he will be DH-EH exclusive this summer. He's on deck as the designated hitter. Big cut and miss by Pinaro to put him down in this count. Americans playing aggressive at the plate here. Understand the move against a mix of former college players and men's baseball league athletes. The 1-2 is grounded foul down that first base line.
Good hack there from Pinaro to stay alive.
Definitely. And the Americans have had a number of different players coaching first base over the course of the season.
I got my chances in there too.
Must have been fun. Low ball 2 right there to Carmen. Pinaro, a nice day yesterday, walking a single. Also doubled against the Ironbacks. Grant Moore, the only run plated so far, it came on a wild pitch. Fraun checks on second base, now delivers. High chopper right to the first baseman, DeMartin. Gonna be ruled a foul ball.
Pinaro doing a good job here to make the pitcher throw some extra pitches, battle him off until he sees one he likes.
Pinaro, always going to be a tough at bat. Showing that right here. And we'll take one inside. He gets whacked. And as it goes wild, Chris Gazaldo heads to third. Will go in as a walk, rather, but nonetheless, runners on the corners as Logan Stickler's up next. Came close to hitting Pinaro. So really,
either way, he gets on base.
Yeah, didn't really matter if you called a hit by pitch at that point because he's taking his base. And he has Gazaldo well into scoring position for Logan Stickler. It'll be a good time to get redemption, get that home run, and now taking off is Pinaro. Gazaldo tries to come home, and he's safe. Both runners going, and the Americans up 2-0. Andrew Fraun, another wild pitch. So strike 1, but both runners advance. Strike 2 on the low edge. Really continuing the theme of that tall and narrow strike zone.
Sticking to it makes it easier for the pitchers to find where to throw it.
And I mean, even if it's a little off where it usually is, I like when an umpire sticks to his strike zone. That one a liner into left field for the base hit. And Pinaro takes third. It's runners on the corners again. Logan Stickler showing what he can do with the bat. Had a home run overturned against the Muck Dogs. And I mean, would be interesting if he ends up with one here today, because it would be another home run that technically doesn't count towards the league stats, but he sure can hit them.
For sure.
Ramos takes one outside for ball one. Allen, an on-base streak that's spanned since his very first start for the team. Has gone 12 games. Makes him a .250 hitter on the year. A liner into right field for the base hit. Allen Ramos stays hot, and coming in to score, Carmen Pinaro. Stickler on second, Ramos on first. The Americans stringing together some knocks with just one down. And now it's 3-0, and runners on first and second for Grant Moore. Not the batter you want to have runners on for, Keegan.
Definitely not. Probably the Americans' hottest hitter right now.
Hottest hitter all season long. A little MVP campaign going for Grant Moore. He just was among those 6, alongside you, Keegan, that was named a West Division All-Star at the midseason marker.
That is correct. Thank you.
Big congratulations on that All-Star nod. Line drive into left field. This time it'll be Ryan Baruti making the grab. So Grant Moore retired for the first time tonight. Managed to make it up to bat 2 times in 2 innings. These Americans have been swinging it tonight. 3-0, as well as 4 hits. Tommy Mathay up next. Mathay popped out his first time up. So with that 3-run marker, the Americans have won every fan in the stands another free McCafe Frappe. They just keep on coming. Keegan, you're a big fan of those.
I like to get them every game.
I mean, you've gotten some extras at times after your best pitching outings as well. Love to see that.
Maybe. If that's allowed.
1-1 count. And it's a fly ball into center. Coming in is Alex Seifert. He'll make the grab for out number 3. So 2 quick outs for the Diesel after the Americans score 2 runs in the inning and reach that 3-run marker. Give every fan in the stands a McCafe Frappe. We'll be right back with the 3rd inning after the break.
Fans, if you've been to a game, you know that I give away pizza to a lucky fan in the middle of the 3rd inning. But what you might not know is that Sammy's is located right across the street. They've also been family owned and operated for 3 generations since 1962 and originated the half tray of pizza. But if you're hungry at the game, you can stop by the concession stand and get a slice of Sammy's for yourself.
Top of the 3rd inning here on the Americans Baseball Network. The Americans out to an early 3-0 lead against the Diesel. This will be a 7-inning ball game as it's an out-of-league game. So that means Mercy Rule is 10 runs after 5 innings. The Americans can really break this game open. There's a shot for that. But this 3rd inning is brought to you by Greater Niagara Federal Credit Union, Geico of Buffalo, Sammy's Pizza, and McDonald's. And with those 3 runs, as I mentioned, free frappes for everyone. The thing I'm most excited for, though, for McDonald's, the snack wrap making its return on July 10th. I'm a big snack wrap connoisseur, so I'll be there probably either before or after our game against Auburn on Thursday.
We got 32 in their dugout, or their bullpen.
And in the bullpen for the Diesel is Connor Ryan. 9 ERA in an outing against the Tarp Skunks. He went 4 innings and gave up 4 earned runs, struck out 6 as well. So all those stats coming from that game. The 0-1 count to Ryan Baruti, who's up for the first time today. Baruti in left field. Takes one outside. And on the season, Baruti 0 for 6. Couple of walks and a sac fly. Fly ball into right field. Mathay is under it. Makes the catch for out number 1. So a lot of fly balls by this Diesel team, but this Americans outfield is one of the best in the league.
I think we might have close to 1,000 fielder percentage in the outfield, so that helps.
Definitely. Most of the errors for this team have been infield errors, but Boyle, Moore, and Core, rocks in the outfield. Tommy Mathay, a great addition to get in the mix as well. First pitch is a swing and a miss by Jake Shabetta. These Diesel batting 11 batters in this game, unprecedented. Normally you see 9 or 10 in PGCBL action, but Paul Wolf was like, oh, we brought 11 batters, might as well bat them all.
Nobody gets left out on his team.
Love to see it. One's across the board. Evan Core delivers low for ball 2. Pair of brothers rounding things out for the Diesel here. Adam and Jake Shabetta. Jake up first with the count in his favor. Count is even. And these guys, it's pretty much foolproof that they bat back-to-back when they're in the order. Makes sense. Get some chemistry going on the base paths if they can both get on. Count is now full.
Payoff pitch for Core.
Here it is. And it's ball 4 to the first of the 2 Shabetta brothers. Adam up to bat with his brother Jake on first. Both played versus the Batavia Muck Dogs. Adam, the older of the 2 Shabettas, an outfielder at Erie Community College, 340 hitter with an 880 OPS in 2025 for Erie. So ball 1 to him from Core. Looking to avoid the second consecutive walk of the second consecutive Shabetta. In there for strike 1, outside part of the plate, but still well in the strike zone. Makes it 1s across the board. Crossbox getting a visit from our very own Yankee Doodle Dan. Liner right into the glove of Alan Ramos for out number 2. And now caught in a pinch. It'll be a double play to retire both Shabettas in 1 at bat. We'll send it to the bottom of the 3rd after the break. Americans still lead 3-0. Evan Core, some great pitching. 3 scoreless frames.
No, I'm kind of thirsty.
Me too. We could really use something.
Yeah. Oh, thanks,
Yankee Doodle Dan.
That's better.
Bottom of the 3rd inning, and fans Do you know that American season tickets are just $99? Come be a part of the fun. Catch the rest of the summer here at the Sal. Stop by the concession stands and pick up your season tickets today to be a part of this historic season in Niagara Falls. I mean, as the season goes on, still double-digit number of home games here, so those season tickets going to get you a discount over the $10 tickets you'd pay at every individual game. Gavin Boyle will kick things off for the Americans in this inning. He'll be followed up by Graydon Miller and Ian Wang, the real heart of the order here for Niagara Falls. Boyle, first time up, grounded out to second base, but Grant Moore came in to score during the at-bat. Ball 1 to Gavin on the outside. Boyle did not get credit for the RBI as Grant was on the run during his at-bat, so looking for his first ribby of this game. Fouled off to even up the count. The only way it would come here would be by another home run, but if anyone's going to do it in this order, it's Gavin.
Boyle likes to hit his home runs when there's nobody on base, so we might see it here.
Definitely a couple of solo shots already this season. The 1-1 outside to put the count in his favor. Americans' next in-league game will be against the Ironbacks tomorrow. First night game at George Taylor Field for the team all season. Inside ball 3. You can gotta wonder if it'll be any different playing on that field at night compared to the handful of games you've played there during the day. The 3-1 pitch. It's pop up into the shallow outfield. Wagner backing up. But in the end, it'll be Ryan Barudian left to make the grab. Barudi catching the first out of the inning. Gavin Boyle retired for the second time today. And Graydon Miller, who tripled his first time around, going to get on again. That's a pop-up into the shallow outfield again. Caught by Alex Seifert for out number 2. So, I mean, the Americans making some good contact here, but this Diesel outfield settling in.
America's just getting under the ball here, see if we can level it out with Ian Wang here.
Yeah, Wang, the last hope to avoid a 1-2-3 inning here in the third. The hit by Miller was also out into center field. It was a little deeper, but thankfully dropped and allowed him
Wang
to
might
get
be
the
looking to take a
three-baser.
pitch.
There it is, but it's way outside for ball 1. So.
He did take one, but I think he'd be taking that either way.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Wants to get up in those counts early. A very patient hitter at the plate. Shown his OPS headed into today, 778. Inside ball 2. Wang been sharing second base primarily with Connor Kiefer this season.
They have flip-flopped.
Yes, flip-flopping most of the time. And it's a grounder right to Kowalski at second. And in time for out number 3 at first. So Wang, the second baseman for the Americans, hitting it to the Diesel's own second baseman. We send it to the 4th after the break. The Americans still up 3 against these Diesel.
My fellow American fans, my name is Frankie Morris, your social media manager. You can join us all summer long with many promotional nights and tickets just as low as $10. You can call and get tickets at 716-215-6161 and take a crack at the action.
Evan Core going out for another inning of work as we begin the 4th inning. Core, the Americans looking to get the most out of him on the bump as possible. If it goes well enough possible, he'll see the mound on occasion again, but this was initially planned to be a one-time thing. This top of the 4th inning, sponsored by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 237, by Johnny Ryan Soda, and by Coca-Cola. Get all your favorite Coke beverages down at concessions every game. And Keegan, while we're talking about Coca-Cola, I want to ask you what your go-to Coke soda order is. Coke, Sprite.
I would say either Dr. Pepper or root beer.
Dr. Pepper is an interesting choice. I feel like it's an acquired taste. Some people love it, some people hate it. I mean, I do respect that root beer choice all day long. I would definitely go Sprite when it's a Coca-Cola soda machine. When it's Pepsi, however, like some ginger ale because, I mean, Sprite, by far the superior lemon lime soda of the two between
Agreed,
Sprite and Starry. Darren Grabowski up for the second time today. Takes a ball inside, and you would think, given it's the second time through the order in a normal baseball game, it would be that Coors had the minimum batter's face. Fly ball into left center field. Boyle backing up makes the grab for out number 1, but as I was saying, this Diesel team batting 11, so even though they've had more than the minimum batters up, this is only the second time through the order in the 4th inning.
Core has done a good job to keep them low.
Yeah, Evan Core giving up just 3 walks and a single. So he's one-hitting these Diesel. His first time out in the mound in the PGCBL. It's a pop-up foul. And normally one of Paul Wolf or Will Cordero coaching third base for the Americans. Today they're both getting the chance to coach third base for their respective teams. Fun sight out there. Fly ball into right field. Tommy Mattheys under it, makes the grab for out number 2. So with that, the Americans have caught a grand total of 6 flyouts in this game. It's unbelievable for the
Definitely
Americans
more than
outfield.
normal. Core getting inducing these fly balls, maybe with some high pitches.
Very possible he'll be in the outfield once he's done pitching. Tommy Mathay expected to come out of the pen, and he's in Core's usual slot, so would not be shocked if they play this Little League style and just move guys around on the field and save the bench for their next few games. It's ball 2 to the new batter, Alex Seifert. To Leo and Grabowski flying out. And now 2 balls. Put the count in the favor of Alex. It's another outside ball 3. And Keegan, this Americans team coming up, going to have 5 games in 4 days. That's a very busy schedule, but I mean, I'm sure this team is up to the task. As it's
We
ball
do
4
have a
to
lot of
Seifert.
extra players if anyone gets tired, so we're ready for it.
Yeah, players leaving in recent days, so the roster not quite at the 40-man total it was to begin the season, but still bigger than a Major League Baseball roster, so can handle that tight schedule, especially with the day off coming up on Sunday. Core, it's a liner foul down the first base, or ground ball rather, foul down the first base line. Strike 1 on Neil DeMartin. DeMartin on the day flew out to center field his first time up. The one flyout that Grant Moore has caught today. It's been more action for Boyle and Mathay so far. 0-1. Outside to even up the count on the cleanup hitter. Only one batter to potentially clean up here, though, as the first 2 flew out. The 1-1. Liner into right center field. Tommy Mathay is there. And he'll make the grab for out number 3. So 3 flyouts in 4 batters face for Evan Core. The sole walk, the only base runner. It's his 4th of the day, but Core still one-hitting these Diesel as we head to the bottom of the 4th after the break.
Fans, if you've been to a game, you know that I give away pizza to a lucky fan in the middle of the third inning. But what you might not know is that Sammy's is located right across the street. They've also been family owned and operated for 3 generations since 1962 and originated the half tray of pizza. But if you're hungry at the game, you can stop by the concession stand and get a slice of Sammy's for yourself.
Back for the bottom of the 4th inning, and fans, this season you can connect with the Americans like never before by following them on their social media platforms. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, all thanks to our social media managers, Frankie Morris and Leah Frawn. Those pages looking great as Chris Gonzaldo swings and misses on strike 1. He'll be followed up in this inning by Dom Polillo and Carmen Panaro. Led off the 2nd inning as well. It's 1-1 to him. Inside ball 2. So the Americans bringing up 7 batters in that 2nd inning in which they scored 2 runs. Then a 1-2-3 third brings it right back to Chris 2 innings later. 3-1 count. Gonzaldo looking to get on for the 2nd time today in just 2 plate appearances. Liner into center field, and it'll be caught by the right fielder Grabowski for out number 1. Americans flying out a lot too. The balls seem to be coming off the bat well tonight for both teams, but the defense looking good on both sides.
Frawn seems to be working a little bit quicker this inning.
Definitely. Andrew Frawn settling in after a rough couple of innings. It's an outside ball 1 to Dom Polillo. Polillo gonna pop that up into third base foul territory. DeLeo makes the grab. 2 down on these Americans. Dom Polillo's 0 for 2 in his Americans career thus far. So far, no hits and no innings pitched for Americans that have worn the number 5 this season. But Carmen Panaro takes one upstairs and away for ball 1.
That's an unfortunate stat for number 5. That was my college number, so looking to do some damage next time, Don.
You have to switch to the number and then it'll get going. But I've always noticed that, I mean, I've got a jersey from last year as a member of the American staff, but you and I, Keegan, wearing the same number. Picked up number 32 right when I got here. Fly ball into left center. Seifert is there as well as Baruti. It's Ryan Baruti who will end up making the grab for out number 3. 1-2-3 inning, 2nd consecutive for Andrew Frawn. He's really settling in here, and a lower scoring game than you might have expected for an Americans team that has most of their starting lineup with position players pitching. We'll send it to the top of the 5th inning after the break.
No, I'm kind of thirsty.
Me too. We could really use something.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Yankee Doodle Dan. That's better.
Back for the top of the fifth inning, and Mike Wagner going to kick things off for the Americans. This fifth inning is brought to you by Tropical Heating and Cooling. Call 716-870-0753 for expert service. Andrew Roberts back with Keegan Bazinet. First player we've had on the broadcast this season. It's been a fun time. Wagner takes the first pitch from Core in there for strike one. And with position players pitching, the Americans pitching staff free to do other things at tonight's game, including Keegan here on the call. But strike two from Core to Wagner.
With this performance by Core, he might actually get some more innings in regular season games.
Evan Core wanted this opportunity, and he is making the most of it. The 0-2. Outside for ball one. I mean, it made sense. This is a guy, I mean, this is not something that you usually see in a baseball game. A guy who was able to gun it all the way home from right field for a double play in a couple of games this season. It's very rare. A line drive right into the glove of Ian Huang for out number one. Floated a little bit, but came back down as Huang makes the grab. Jimmy Butner up next, and Jimmy struck out his first time up. Core looking to bunch him out again. Had 2 strikeouts his first 2 innings since then, forcing soft contact, and has still retired 8 batters since then. That goes wild, but nobody on base, so won't really matter for Core. 1-0 to Butner. High chopper. Picked up at third base by Gazaldo to throw across the field for out number 2. So the last 9 outs now have all come in the field for the Americans. Their defense getting some nice reps in this game. Most of the defensive starters in the game. They'll be locked and loaded for the Ironbacks matchup tomorrow.
Core getting a lot of quick outs here, being very efficient.
Evan Core keeping his pitch count down in the process. Just 56 pitches in the 5th inning, and it's strike one on pitch number 57 to BJ Stack. Stack walked his first time up. And that's a grounder right back to Core. The comebacker sent to first well in time. Stack not even bothering to run that one out. I mean, up there in years, so understand it. But led to the bottom of the 5th inning after the break.
My fellow American fans, my name is Frankie Morris, your social media manager. You can join us all summer long with many promotional nights and tickets just as low as $10. You can call and get tickets at 716-215-6161 and take a crack at the action.
back for the bottom of the 5th inning. And got a call to the bullpen for the Diesel. And while we talk about 32s up here in the press box, it's a fellow 32 out on the bump, Connor Ryan. Coming in the pitch, the 9 ERA on the season. All came in his start against the Tarp Skunks. And in this 5th inning, we remind fans, if you or someone you know have a birthday coming up, why not spend it here with the Americans? Packages include 10 tickets, 2 large Sammy's pizzas, 10 drinks, customized Wegmans cake, autographed Americans, baseballs, and special recognition at the game, starting at just $175. Sign up online at NiagaraFallsAmericans.com. Sponsored by Wegmans and Sammy's Pizza. And Morgan Spriggs was here on the call a few days ago. She had the chance to wish her brother Ethan a happy early birthday, but since she's not here tonight, happy birthday, Ethan. And I hope you are living it up out in Guatemala out on a environmental studies experience. He is going to be majoring in that over at UMaine Farmington in the fall. So big happy 18th birthday to Ethan Spriggs. But as we get into this bottom of the 5th inning, Logan Stickler kicking things off for the Americans takes a strike from the new pitcher Ryan. And Keegan got to hope that number 32 does not put a tarnish on the number's legacy.
Maybe a little bit. I want the Americans to score here, so I'll sacrifice
that too. I mean, you can have the best number 32 in the venue tonight, but
we'll go with that one.
Fly ball into right center, and making the grab for out number 1 is Darren Grabowski. It's right in his name, but he's made a lot of grabs tonight. The fly out to lead off the 4th inning as well went into his glove. And next up is Alan Ramos. Ramos singled his first time up back in the 2nd inning. And it is low for ball 1. And even if the Americans stop here, I mean, if Evan Core can keep pitching the way he's been pitching, the Americans could win this nonetheless. It's a low ball 2. Tommy Matei also expected to come out of the pen. He's in the hole right now. The 2-0 gets in there for strike 1. Connor Ryan finding that strike zone after a couple early balls for Allen. Ball 3 to Ramos, and Allen was initially committed to Wagner, decommitted, and now looking at a couple different schools, including St. Peter's University. Recently had the chance to visit over there. That's going to get over the head of shortstop Mike Wagner. It's a base hit. Alan Ramos with a 2-hit night. He thought about second base as well. He would have the speed to get there, but he's going to play it safe. Try and get that base on a steal instead.
Ramos does have the speed for the steal, so we'll see if he goes ahead and try and go for it.
And I mean, if Graham Moore can get on, double steal potential. Got word that the two of them raced over in Canada a couple weeks back. And it was a dead tie between the two, so Graham Moore may have the higher steal total, but Alan Ramos just as capable on the bases. The 1-0. Fly ball in the left field foul. Ramos has been slowly increasing his steal total over the last few games after a lack of stealing opportunities early on. The pitch will be low, and Ramos takes second base. Another stolen base for Alan Ramos. This one not counting on the stat sheet, but if you include those out-of-league games like today, Alan Ramos up to 5 steals. That's good for a tie for third on the team with Derek Gismondi. Gismondi injured right now, so Ramos chance to surpass him. Ramos is taunting the pitcher, Ryan, but Grant Moore getting whacked in the process.
Grant Moore trying to tell the umpire he didn't get hit so he could try and get a hit.
I mean, yeah, he wants that hit, but gonna get on base anyways, and now these guys have the chance to steal together with Tommy Mathay up to bat. Mathay takes one inside, has to jump back to avoid getting hit. Mathay wants a hit as well. I mean, hit by pitch, a way to get on base, but not usually the preferred method. Mathay, the ground ball to Wagner, out at second and in time for the out at first. It's a double play to end this inning. Grant Moore and Alan Ramos got on, but it will not matter. We'll send it to the next inning. Top of the sixth when we're back after the break.
Fans, if you've been to a game, you know that I give away pizza to a lucky fan in the middle of the third inning. But what you might not know is that Sammy's is located right across the street. They've also been family owned and operated for 3 generations since 1962 and originated the half tray of pizza. But if you're hungry at the game, you can stop by the concession stand and get a slice of Sammy's for yourself.
Back early for the end of the Wegmans Kids Run. Yankee Doodle Dan stays undefeated in this Kids Run. It's been a couple close calls in recent days, but
I think we had a tiebreak a couple days ago.
Yeah, the tiebreaker on the 4th of July when they ran all the way across the outfield. But obviously, Yankee Doodle Dan's going to have the edge in a tiebreaker with longer distance because he's got longer legs than most of these kids.
A little unfair, I think.
So he stays undefeated. He keeps it at kids under 12, and then the only one over 12 that runs every single time. But the true patriot himself has earned that undefeated record for sure. Top of the sixth, as well as the entire sixth inning on the Americans Baseball Network, is brought to you by Niagara County Legislator Chris Robins, Laborers Local 91, and Wegmans, the proud sponsor of the Kids Run. Evan Core back out for a sixth inning of work. And Keegan Ewan, Riley Drew Cross had a little over-under going on how many pitches Evan Core would throw. And looks like that over is going to hit Keegan.
Yeah, the line was set at 59.5. He's at 58 right now, so unless he has a one-pitch inning here, looks like the over will hit. Speaking of Yankee Doodle Dan, I wonder if their biggest fans are watching, the Stewart family.
Oh, definitely. Everybody surrounding Yankee Doodle Dan every single game, and it's ball one for Jordan Kowalski. Kowalski up for the second time today, flew out his first time up. That fly out went to Gavin Boyle in left, and it's another fly ball. Ramos backing up. He makes this catch in shallow left field. Alan Ramos, some nice range behind him. And it'll be Ryan Baruti up next. Got to give some credit to Alan Ramos, just what he's been able to do over this recent stretch, both on offense and defense. He's coming into his own.
Yes.
Ryan Baruti gets whacked and takes first base. Hit him on the back. Evan Core hitting his first batter all day on pitch number 61. So that over has officially hit with Jake Shabetta coming out to hit with one on and one out. Shabetta, bit of a check swing. It's a strike anyways, despite the pulled back bat.
Evan Core using the breaking ball right off the front hip of the batter, right after a hit by pitch. It's always scary to see.
Wild pitch right there, gets past Polillo, and taking second base is Ryan Baruti. Just got hit running at full speed anyways. Glad to see he's all right. Count is even on Shibeta. His brother Adam on deck. Shibeta brothers both retired in one play the last time they came up. It's a liner into left field for the base hit. Headed to third is Ryan Baruti. It's runners on the corners for the second Shibeta, Adam. But now, Jake Shibeta reaching second base on the throw. Look at that. 2 runners in scoring position for the Diesel. This is the first real threat they have posed the entire game. Second hit given up by Core will get Shibeta to second base. And now Adam Shibeta, with his runner in scoring position, represents the tying run in this game. Things got serious real quick here. Americans scoreless since the second inning after 3 early runs.
First pitch fouled off here.
Yeah, foul ball by Adam Shibeta. It's bark in the park night here at the ballpark. Don't see that many dogs in the stands, but they were allowed tonight. A fly ball into center field. Moore backing up, makes the catch. Tagging up for home plate. It's Ryan Baruti will score on the sac fly from Adam. Jake holds up at second. It's now 3-1, the Diesel on the board for the first time today. So Adam Shibeta, credit with the RBI. First RBI all day for these Diesel. And it's back to the top of the order with Darren Grabowski, who's walked and flown out. Grabowski with 2 down and a runner on second, Jake Shibeta. First pitch from Core is up at his helmet. Some chin music right there.
That's a Sal Magli haircut right there.
Oh, for sure. Close shave on the first ball. Sal Magli Stadium. Keegan, you've played at this stadium spring and summer, so very familiar with its history. And it's 2-0 on another close shave to Grabowski. And Shibeta thinks about third. Big cut and miss for strike 1, and he'll head back. Polio had a nice view of third base right there. Was ready to make the tag. It had Shibeta gone, but Wolf holding him up. 2-1. Now Shibeta trying to take off. It's a pop-up in foul territory. Goes right near this press box, drops under it. Keegan, I mean, you should have brought your glove up at a certain point.
Savannah Banana Baseball, so you catch that, that's an out.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I haven't been to a Bananas game myself, but love to see Banana Ball. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Down goes Darren Grabowski. It's Evan Core's 3rd strikeout of the day. He goes 6 full innings. We'll see if he comes back out for the 7th, but for now, the Americans up in the bottom of the 6th. Gavin Boyle will lead things off when we're back.
No, I'm kind of thirsty.
Me too. We could really use something.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Yankee Doodle Dan.
That's better.
Bottom of the 6th inning here on the Americans Baseball Network. Gavin Boyle will kick things off, followed by Graydon Miller and Ian Huang. Andrew Roberts here with Keegan Bazinet.
Big hack from Boyle here to start out the inning.
Gavin Boyle with his home run swing, but it's strike one. And a reminder that an Americans game is a great way to bring your group together as Boyle pops up. And it's caught by DeLeo for out number 1. But anyways, great way to entertain your group for the evening. It's right here at the ballpark. We're able to offer fundraisers tailored to your group needs, nonprofits, churches, youth sports, and more. For all group information, please visit the Americans website, NiagaraFallsAmericans.com. So another pop out to the third baseman, DeLeo, and now it's Graydon Miller. Strike one on him here. He started his game with a triple, then flew out to Seifert in center field his second time up.
Seems to be a lot of balls in the air today.
Oh, definitely. Miller's first ball was also to Seifert, but goes to the left of him. And it's a fly ball into right center this time, and it'll be Grabowski instead to make the catch. Seifert was there. So Seifert's been there for all 3 of Miller's balls, but only managing to catch one of them. Grabowski thankfully had that one, but it's just an interesting thing I've noticed as Ian Huang steps in with 2 outs. Low-scoring affair here, much different than what you would have expected out of this game. Evan Core has dazzled on the mound, and the Americans' bats a little quiet since that second inning. I mean, team did not have the chance to take batting practice today. So part of the equation, but it's ball 1 to Ian Huang.
Ian Huang looking to start this inning off with 2 outs.
According to our scorer, Riley Drew Cross, in games where there's been rain or other reasons that batting practice has been missed, maximum 6 hits for the Americans without BP. Today they have 5, and it's 3-0 to Huang with the bases empty. Looking to be the first base runner of the inning. Gets in there for strike 1 on the outside corner. Connor Ryan trying to turn it around after 3 early balls. Huang did not have the green light. Pitch is low, and Huang walks on 5 pitches. Connor Ryan new to attack on the 4th pitch, but another outside ball there. Chris Gazaldo up next.
2-out base runner. You're going to have to do some work to get him around, but see what Chris can do here.
Singled earlier in this game. He's 1 for 2. Takes strike 1 on the outside part of the plate. So 0-1 to Gazaldo. Another big cut and miss. And now Connor Ryan 1 strike away from getting out of this inning unscathed. Diesel scored their first run in the top of this inning. It's now a 2-run ball game. The 0-2. Lined foul behind the plate.
Chris staying alive.
Has a way of doing that in many at-bats. Always going to be a tough at-bat. Just like the guy who wears his number 4, Jackie Robinson. Gazaldo, one of 3 Panola players remaining on the team, and 2 of them were among the All-Stars on this team. Hudson Boring, also an All-Star. It's fouled off. Gazaldo just getting a piece of it to stay alive in this at-bat. Working this 0-2 count. Already 4 pitches here.
4 pitches, but
continue
still
to get
0-2.
that to uptick.
Shows Gazaldo can keep the count alive.
Still in that 0-2 hole, so hoping some balls will come his way coming up. Instead, a swing and a miss. Chris Gazaldo strikes out to end the inning. It's the first by Connor Ryan. We'll send it to the top of the 7th as the Diesel attempt to complete this comeback down 2 runs. We'll be right back with the top of the inning.
Fans, if you've been to a game, you know that I give away pizza to a lucky fan in the middle of the 3rd inning. But what you might not know is that Sammy's is located right across the street. They've also been family owned and operated for 3 generations since 1962 and originated the half tray of pizza. But if you're hungry at the game, you can stop by the concession stand and get a slice of Sammy's for yourself.
Back for the top of the 7th inning and some changes on defense for the Americans. The new pitcher looking for the save is Tommy Mathey. Mathey was expected to come out of the pen for this team. Already has a scoreless inning for the Americans. And out in right field, Carmen Panaro taking over. So Evan Core, his day is done. Panaro moving from the extra hitter role into right field. And if the Americans do need to come up to bat, it'll likely be someone else pinch hitting in the spot of Mathey as he's on the mound for the 2nd time this season.
Great day by Evan Core, now passing on to Tommy Mathey, trying to get his 2nd scoreless inning.
Yeah, give Evan Core his flowers. Tommy Mathey looking to prevent the Americans from needing to come up to bat again with a clean inning right here. Mark DeLeo, Alex Seifert, and Neil DeMartin are due up to face him. So it's not going to be easy. This is the heart of the Diesel order. DeLeo has had 5 hits against PGCBL teams this summer. And upstairs, ball 1 to DeLeo. Spent 2 years at Mercyhurst in the mid-2010s. Also a .379 hitter for the Diesel in 2024. 2-0 count to DeLeo here. They looking to recover with the count in DeLeo's favor. Big cut and miss as DeLeo chases the outside pitch by Mathey.
When
a
DeLeo
nice pitch
was
by
at
Tommy.
Mercyhurst, it was a D2, and just recently transferred to a D1, so good school he was at.
And it is strike 2 on the foul ball. DeLeo was starting to run that out. Yes, Mercyhurst recently promoted to Division I, and that was a move that affected multiple sports. Their football team going up against some New York teams this past season. 2-2 pitch, a fly ball into center field. Grant Moore backs up, makes the catch for out number 1. So Grant Moore making the grab. It's 1 down. Alex Seifert up to bat, the Diesel's own center fielder. And a couple of Mercyhurst guys actually are on this Diesel team. With DeLeo being one of them. No others in the order tonight, but it's a liner into left field for the base hit. And Alex Seifert's the first base runner of the inning, just the 3rd hit of the day for Buffalo.
Most of Core's base runners did come from walks, so he kept their hits pretty low.
Definitely. And the Diesel in PGCBL play are 1-2, but over in Muni Ball are 7-1. So this is not just any adult baseball team. This is one of the better ones in their league. This PGCBL is full of collegiate level talent. So for the most part, they have taken advantage against these Diesel. Slow to even up the count. 1's across the board to Neil DeMartin. 1 on, 1 out. The base runner is Alex Seifert, who just singled. Mathey sends another outside. Count is in the favor.
Americans looking to hold them here so they don't have to bat.
Yeah, just end it right here. And that is a wild pitch on the breaking ball. Alex Seifert taking second base. So another runner in scoring position for the Diesel. Here in inning number 7. Scored their first run in the 6th, and Seifert will stay on second as it's ball 4 to DeMartin. So DeMartin on base representing the tying run. And the shortstop Mike Wagner representing the go-ahead. Could be trouble for Tommy Mathey with one down. But double play is available. Right now it's a pop-up to Graydon Miller. But Huang also there. He'll make the grab. Ian Huang coming in from second base to catch the pop-up. And it's 2 down. And I mean, of all outs that can be recorded with runners on first and second, that's going to be one of the most productive for the Americans. Hold the runners in place. Really wanted a strikeout double play or pop out there. Those are your best possible outcomes.
Good communication there by the infielders to call off the first baseman there.
Oh, definitely. Ian Huang said he had it and makes the grab. Ball 1 to the new batter, Jimmy Buettner. Buettner up for the 3rd time today, has struck out and grounded out to 3rd. Gets in there to even up the count. Seifert on second base and DeMartin on first. Both have leads at their respective bases. The 1-1 is fouled off. And interesting, the placement of that pop-up right between the two fielders. And if it weren't for the infield fly rule, could have dropped that and gotten a double play, but not allowed with that rule. And now taking off for third is Seifert. It's a ground ball right there. Gazaldo throwing across the field. That's the game. The Americans getting out of this one without having to come up to bat again. Final score, Americans 3, Diesel 1. What a game, as Buettner grounding out to the same spot the 2nd time in a row. And Keegan, it was great to have you on today in this 7-inning ball game.
It was great to be here. Thanks for having me, Andrew.
Thank you so much. And before we go, we remind you that this 7th inning is sponsored by Seneca Niagara Resort and Casino, the official casino of the Americans. Every Americans ticket has a $10 slot play. So, chance to get your money's worth plus more at the casino. And we will be back here on the broadcast tomorrow as the Americans take on the Niagara Ironbacks. It'll just be me on the call, but first pitch is at 6:30 from Canada tomorrow. George Taylor Field, the venue for that game. Americans going on the road, a little road trip over these next 3 days. They'll be back at home on Saturday for a doubleheader against the Pioneers, and Keegan, you'll be pitching in that.
I will. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to calling it. We'll have Avery Vogt back on the call that day. But for the time being, looking forward to traveling with the team and seeing how they do in Canada and then in Auburn and Geneva later this week. Some fun games ahead for the Americans, who stand in 2nd place in the PGCBL standings. But to all our viewers, thank you so much for watching tonight. Keegan, thank you so much again for coming on the call. This has been PGCBL Baseball on the Americans Baseball Network. I'm Andrew Roberts, signing off for the night. We'll see you.